This is the transformation for JXFigures Winged Dragon, Metal Beast 01. So let's just go ahead and get into it. It's got a bit of a taxing transformation at first, but it gets a little fun as you do it more. So first what you're going to want to do is bring that up, and under here, you're going to unpeg that, rotate it around, and just kind of let it clip in. There's that. Go over here to the arm. Down there, fold that open, rotate the fist. Well, you don't actually have to rotate it, but in terms of just getting these fingers kind of turned inwards. Oh, there we go. Get them rotated in like that, and then it's going to fold up into there. You're going to kind of close it back. It's not going to really lock closed, at least mine isn't. I don't know, I've been trying to kind of figure out a way to maybe get it to close up a little bit better. Maybe oh well, now I can't get this out. There we go. Maybe just kind of getting that away from there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just make sure you have the knuckles down. So there's that. This, all right, let's get it kind of positioned around like that. Let's get this wing out of the way. Then we're going to come up here, and we're going to rotate that up and just kind of leave that like that for the time being. This is where this video is going to get very taxing on both you and me. So from here, let's kind of lift that up. We're going to swing him around. Let's get these wings just up and out of the way. Wings up and out of the way. And you're going to take this piece, and they're hitting my lights for what it's worth. That's probably what you're hearing. Let's get this up. All right. Move this tail piece out of the way. It'll fold up and kind of stay out of the way like that as you need it. You're going to lift that up, and then you're going to start by like folding this out and around, and just kind of leave it there for the time being. You'll eventually kind of get it further around. If you want to, rotate it down on this little piece to where it's like that, and just kind of keep it out the way for the time being. Now, get these wings back down, and they're just grabbing everything. So from here, you're going to kind of push, grab it here and push on this piece, this purple piece. You can kind of do that on both sides, and that is going to loosen up this whole back section. And come on. Easy does it. There we go. And you'll kind of lift on that as you're pulling it out, and that's going to allow this whole backpack piece to flop open. Now, get this out of the way again. It's important that you remember, if you're going back to robot mode, the orientation of this arm. So kind of take a good look at it. Take a good look at this piece in here, how it's oriented. And what we're going to do first is we're going to take this, we're going to kind of fold and rotate it out like that, and then this arm, you're gonna fold it on this hinge while straightening it out on this hinge, right, and kind of get it in like this, and from here you can just sort of rotate that out. So that's going to be in the position it needs to stay in for beast mode, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. But again, you're essentially going to sort of invert this whole little selection here to where it fits nice and snug and secure, and then you're also going to pull this piece out, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Now this should be fine like that. Okay, where are we at? What are we going to do? All right, let's grab this, rotate this around, And again, you're going to rotate it. You see there's a series of hinges. There's hinge there, hinge there, hinge there. And that's all going to play a part. You got a little bitty tab piece right there. It's going to fit into that little slot. So you basically just want to like line this up to where it will fit in that little piece. There we go. Again, line it up. And for the time being, you're fine right there. Now, let's lay this down and again, gonna have to move some of this stuff out of the way when you're messing with it. So let's come down here. All right, you don't want to try to close any of this stuff up just yet. So you're gonna bring that forward and around. Again, just pop that off the ball joint. Pop that back on, and you can see it's on this little armature here, and it just kind of folds back in. So from there, you're going to take this piece and you're going to pop that up and out like that. Now this is where you're going to, if I get these wings out of the way, you're going to kind of bend that down like that, this sort of pseudo ab crunch piece right there. So just to get all this out of the way. And it's very difficult to do on camera, just with all these pieces going everywhere. So while you're here, take this, rotate it up and around, take this, rotate it up and around, and then just sort of kind of collapse it down like that. And then these pieces rather, you're going to lift those up like that, and they are going to open up on these little bitty hinges. So they don't necessarily have to open too terribly far, but you know, it's just kind of important to keep those right there. And then from here, you're going to lift these up, and you're going to fold those down. So up at the hip, down at the second hip, I guess. And then just sort of hold what you got, basically. And now from here, you're going to take this piece, and these little horns are going to kind of get in the way. When they do, let's see, we maybe move that dragon. Yeah, move that dragon head a little too prematurely. So you're going to work these in to where they're going to point inwards. That way, you can grab this whole piece and work it up and around. And it also slides down on this little track in here. So once you do that, like, I mean, you're pretty much, you saw just how easy that was. It all, kind of worked its way down and around for you. So from there, you're going to want to try to keep these little side flaps that we were playing with earlier. And then just sort of get everything out the way. And you're going to want to bring this kind of up and close it sort of like that. Now, it's not really going to stay too well, but just enough to where, and if you need to, you can move this out of the way. Again, move that out of the way. But what you'll do is you'll take this piece and you'll spin it around on that squeaky joint like that. And that'll sort of just kind of hold what you got there. Now, let's see. Before we close anything up, come back around here, fold this piece out, and then kind of bring them to about level right there. Now is where you want to get this dragon head, neck assembly, and make sure this is out like it needs to be. There we go. And just sort of plug that in there. Now, these two little pieces up here, these two little teeth, and then this peg and these slots, and like, there's your kind of base color plastic in there. All that's going to tab in accordingly, like that. So then from there, you can take this and tab that down, but make sure you're kind of holding everything straight as you can. Like, I'm one-handing this right now, So, I mean, it can be done. And then there's these little bitty tabs right there that go into these little bitty slots. So you do that. And then, again, make sure that tab's down. Now from here, you fold this piece up, this tail assembly. You're going to take these little pieces on both sides, and you're going to fold them back. Carefully, but fold them back nonetheless. You're going to come back here, and then you're going to flip this piece out, and just kind of rotate them out. You know, they'll come in handy in a minute. And then there is a little kind of half slot piece there. You're going to bring this up and tab it on to that piece. And truth be told, I really shouldn't have tabbed these pieces in yet. They're supposed to go in after you slot this piece in. But unfortunately, I didn't really chip anything too bad, but they kind of help hold it in place. As you can see, it keeps it from coming out. And then from there, we're going to turn around. We got these pieces here, and these little shoulder pads. They are going to come up. There we go. Spin them around, and you got a little hole there. You got a tab there. And it should peg in, no problem, if we can get this to stay pegged in like it should be. There we go. Oh, come on. There's that one tabbed in. And that one tabbed in. And then from here, this is kind of like just a series of accordion hinges. So you basically kind of work it. See, I think it goes down on this first one. It's hard to get in here, but you want to bend it down like that, and then everything will sort of like line up to where it push that in. Don't forget that. And then that'll sort of clip in like that. Everything should stay, again, with the exception, there we go. Even that stayed. So from there, you can rotate these forward, bend these dragon legs, and then you get these pieces kind of rotated up and out like that. So again, rotate it here on this, bend that knee, and then you'll sort of grab this piece and it will accordion outwards like that. So you're pretty much home, thankfully. And then, oh yeah, here is where you'll bring these dragon ankles out. Again, you'll bring them out and kind of up. That way, there's some standing room, some kind of give and take here in this area. And then these arms, there's little slots that they tab into, and then you'll rotate this up, and then that will kind of close in on it. And again, you really don't need to do anything with this just because of the way it was pulled out. And then you just kind of straighten the arms out, and that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So again, which I didn't mention it in the transformation video, but it is in the review. They do kind of put a disclaimer out that there are a lot of pieces that rub against each other for this transformation. And, you know, if you want to keep the paint job as pristine as possible, you know, in pristine shape, you're going to want to basically not transform it. But, you know, like scuffing is bound to happen. It's going to happen. There's no working around that. But for the most part, the finish is pretty much still intact. So there we have it. Hopefully that was easy enough to follow along. I tried showing off all the crucial elements as best I could. I know, you know, once this is kind of in like this, and you know, you're not having to worry about the rest of this stuff like sort of flipping around back here. it's fine. It's really nothing to have to worry about. I don't even think this is pegged in like it's supposed to be. Yeah. So, anyways, there's that. It's a little finicky. It's a lot to do. You gotta have some strength for it. Like, I don't recommend just waking up, trying to transform this thing without having some breakfast first or something. You know what I mean? So it's, he's pretty heavy, but everything kind of has a place where it goes, and it is a fun transformation. It's very masterpiecey. I think masterpiece transformations are fun. If you're not into those masterpiece style transformations, maybe just kind of keep it in robot mode. You know what I mean? So that's been the transformation video for JX Winged Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'll do what I can to answer them. So thanks for watching, and check out the video review, and I'll see you guys later.